Good evening, and welcome to the April 2nd City Council meeting. Would everybody please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. We have three proclamations tonight. Okay, let's do Wings of Hope. So would everybody who's going to receive the Wings of Hope do? Whereas sexual violence is a devastating and intolerable crime affecting men, women, and children of all races, ages, cultures, economic situations, and abilities. And whereas sexual violence is a major social problem in homes, schools, and communities across the country, resulting in countless physical, mental, and other health consequences. And whereas sexual violence seriously affects our youth, and is reported that 1 out of every 4 girls and 1 out of every 6 boys experience a sexual assault before the age of 18. Whereas it is also reported that 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men are sexually assaulted on college campuses. And whereas the month of April has been designated to promote awareness by increasing education and community involvement to prevent acts of sexual violence. Now, therefore, I, Gina Noble, Mayor of the City of Stillwater, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2018 in the City of Stillwater as Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of the Wings of Hope Board and staff, we'd like to thank the City Council for acknowledging that April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And we thank you for the support that you continue to show, not just to the organization, but to the entire City of Stillwater. Thank you. Of course, yes. Over here.
Maybe you can tell us where. Thank you all. Thank you for what.
Appreciate it.
Okay, for the next one, could I have Glenn Redding and Sue Bonner come up here? All right, hello. All right. Whereas April 2nd, 2018 marked the 50th anniversary of the passage of the U.S. Fair Housing Law, Title IX of the Civil Rights Act of 1968 as amended, which enunciates a national policy of fair housing without regard to race, color, creed, religion, national origin, gender, familial status, sexual orientation, and handicap, and encourages fair housing opportunities for all citizens. And whereas the City of Stillwater is committed to supporting the Fair Housing Law, Title IX of the Civil Rights Act of 1968 by continuing to address discrimination in our community, to support programs that will educate the public about the right to equal housing opportunities, and to help assure every citizen of their right to fair housing. Now, therefore, I, Gina Noble, Mayor of the City of Stillwater, do hereby declare April 2018 as Fair Housing Month in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Thank you. Would you like to say something, either one? Okay, Glenn, here you go. There's that.
let me just say that the Fair Housing Board for the City of Stillwater is also the Stillwater Housing Authority Board that we've been that for quite some time. Just to let you know that we have complaint forms in our office, and we file those complaint forms as we get the need to do so, and even help out clients to do that, even if the complaint is about Stillwater Housing Authority. So just to let you know, those things happen. It is the 50th anniversary, and we try to make sure that we're very fair in providing that service to the city. Thank you very much for having us.
Title 8? Oh, Title 9, okay. That was close up, wasn't it? Woo. Thank you. All right, Glenn, you have to stay up here. I'm getting my glasses on for this one. All right. Whereas Glenn Redding Jr. has been in the public housing industry since September of 1978 and has lived in Stillwater, Oklahoma for the past 33 years, where he has been the executive director of the Stillwater Housing Authority. Whereas Glenn is a strong advocate and highly regarded trainer for housing authority commissioners throughout the state of Oklahoma and has served as a trustee for the Public Housing Authority Directors Association since 1990. And whereas Glenn has ensured that the Stillwater Housing Authority operates under a philosophy of service that makes Stillwater better for every person and has been vigilant in seeking and securing funds, and by connecting federal funding with local entities, has multiplied the economic benefit to our community. Whereas Glenn advocated for the increase of affordable housing in Stillwater through the purchase of existing homes that are rented through the Public Housing Authority, and secured the initial grant to develop the Family Self-Sufficiency Program in 1997, designed to encourage and assist families in moving toward economic stability and reduce the need for public assistance, and partnered with private developers to bring affordable housing to Stillwater through the construction of tax credit units. And whereas Glenn has mentored other housing authorities in Oklahoma through transitions, assisted in establishing the mission of hope under the Stillwater Housing Development Corporation, and has ensured that the properties owned and managed by the Stillwater Housing Authority are maintained and up to date by securing modernization funding every year. Wow. Now, therefore, I, Gina Noble, Mayor of the City of Stillwater, do hereby proclaim April 2nd, 2018 in the City of Stillwater as Glenn Redding Day. Congratulations and thank you for your service. You have to say something. All right, here you go, and there's that for you.
Thank you very much. Oh, gee. I would just tell you this has been my passion for 40 years. And it is something that I have been very proud of. I think we've made a difference for Stillwater. I think we've made a difference for not only our community, but for this state and in some of my functions as in the national service. I do want to tell you that I think the best thing we've ever done in Stillwater is really one thing for different groups of people. One is not only to provide housing, but to get our clients to a place where they're independent, where they can go out on their own and they can do things on their own. They have jobs and things of that nature, and we strive very hard to do that. And through some of those programs that we've done, we've actually sold well over 20 houses in this community as a result of those Family Self-Sufficiency program. The other thing that I'm very proud of is that we, at Roxy Weber is our mainstay. And so I'm very proud of the fact that the thing we do with Roxy Weber is make sure that people stay independent. not go to a nursing home prematurely or anything of that nature. So independence is what we promote in housing, whether it be for families or for seniors or for our veterans. And that's probably the most proudest thing that I think that we can do in supplying a good, safe place for people to live. I want to thank the Commission for everything that they've done for us over the years with the pilot and the things that you do. It does make a difference, and I want you to know that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you. So I'm going to call that, or do I need to just say it? I just need to say it? Okay. Okay, that brings us to the consent docket. Counselors, does anyone wish to remove or clarify any item, or is there a motion to approve? And so read this now. Okay, are we removing item A? Item A is postponed until the next week.
Oh, we just need to, so any approval would be minus A.
Okay.
Motion to approve the consent docket, except for item A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the consent docket minus item A. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the consent docket is approved. That brings us to, we don't have any public comments, do we? No? All right. Brings us to public hearings. Item A, receive public comment regarding a request for a specific use permit for enlargement of parking lot at property addressed at 1523 West 9th Avenue and 902 South Pine Street, the Seville Center CC-18-29. Mr. Dorman, did we have good notice on this item?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. McNichol.
Lance Gross, our Development Review Manager, will provide that report.
Yes, thank you. Lance Gross with Development Services. The specific use permit before you tonight is located at 1523 West 9th Avenue and 902 South Pine. The purple boundary indicates the subject site, and it's currently zoned RSS, Residential Small Lot Single Family. The property to the to the east and also to the south is also RSS. To the north is office, and also to the west. The Seville Center is currently located right here. They received an SUP back in 2002, and they've recently purchased the property to the east, and they wish to expand their facility. This is a site plan showing the existing site with the Seville Center on the left-hand side, and it shows the current parking area and the building that they have recently purchased. They wish to retain this building on the right-hand side and construct a parking area and drive that basically connects the two and is located between the two buildings. The red and black line right here and also on the south part of the property is the location of a proposed site-proof fence. This is a street view looking to the west-southwest, and it shows the existing Seville Center. You can see a line of sycamores here, which will be retained, the existing parking area right here, and the area right here will be the future location of the parking area. This street view shows the structure that they recently purchased, and the red X's indicate the trees that will be removed. The drives will be retained, and the parking area will be located between the two buildings here. Any questions?
Counselors?
So the building they just purchased is going to stay as is on the site?
That is correct.
Thanks.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, I will open the public hearing, but we don't have anyone to speak, so I will close the public hearing and ask staff for a recommendation.
The Planning Commission recommends approval of the application as presented. It is a vote of 5-0.
Thank you. All right, counselors, questions or a motion? Yes. I'm sorry, Stephen, I even have you written down here. I will open the public meeting, and Stephen goes.
Maybe it'll be quick. Stephen Ghost with Ghost & Associates, 113 East 8. Just here to answer any questions. Staff covered it pretty well in the report. If you read through the Planning Commission, there was the discussion of the fences. And the trees we are taking out are some more of the understory hackberries. We're trying to keep the dogwoods and the sycamores and everything like they said. So if there's any questions, I'll answer them.
Counselors?
Easy.
Thank you.
Stephen.
Now I will close the public hearing. All right. We've had a recommendation from staff. Counselors, questions? Motion.
Motion to accept the staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve CC-18-29. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, CC-18-29 is approved. That brings us to item B, receive public comment regarding a request for closing of a portion of the right-of-way of Wicklow Street at property addressed at 701 South Wicklow Street. This is continued from the March 12th, 2018 meeting, CC-18-30. Mr. Dorman, did we have good notice on this item? Yes, ma'am. Mr. McNichol.
And Lance Gross will provide that report as well.
Yes. The closing before you tonight is a closing for a right-of-way at 701 South Wicklow Street. The purple boundary indicates the right-of-way to be closed. And you can see it's south of 6th Street and west of 6th Avenue and west of Western. The Wicklow Street was originally designed to be a cul-de-sac, and that's why this odd shape right-of-way still exists. Wicklow Street is a private street. 7th Street over here is also a private street. And from this point right here to Wicklow is a private drive. There are, let's see, 2 utilities within the right-of-way right now. There's a water line that runs north and south, and then an electrical line that runs east and west. And when this right-of-way is vacated, the proper easements will be dedicated for both of those items. This is a view looking to the northwest, and the right-of-way is along here, and currently part of the parking lot for the Wicklow apartments are currently within the right-of-way. Any questions?
Counselors? Okay, at this time, I will open the public hearing and close the public hearing. No, we don't. We don't. And I will ask staff for the recommendation.
See, staff recommends approval of the application.
Counselors? Questions or a motion?
Motion to accept staff recommendation?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept staff recommendation on CC-18-30 for approval. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, CC-18-30 is approved. That brings us to resolutions, and Mr. McNichol, I'm going to have you do this resolution. I'm going to hand the resolution over to you, and you can do what you will.
Okay. Like Alex Garcia to come to the podium. And while he's on his way, I would tell you that Alex has been working in the city manager's office since January. We received an inquiry from a professor at OSU about possible internships, and we have worked Alex half to death at absolutely no pay. And he has done a yeoman's job in talking with other cities, and He actually, because nobody would talk to him, received the title of assistant to the city manager, I think. And
Works.
Still unpaid, though.
sometimes, yeah. Very bright young man, has got a great future, in my opinion, in watching him work and watching him jump in with vigor. And I think that he has become a absolute advocate of collection of sales tax from internet retailers. So, Alex, you can certainly say a few words, and then if you would read that resolution that you helped develop, then the council can vote on it.
Sure. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present the resolution. Thank you for having me here. Okay, I don't really have a whole lot to say. I understand that a lot of you guys, if not all of you, understand full well what the resolution is and what the bill is doing. So without further ado, I suppose I'll just read it.
Okay.
Resolution number CC 18-4, a resolution of the Stillwater City Council in support of the Oklahoma Senate Bill 337. Whereas sales and use taxes are the primary funding source for municipal governments in Oklahoma, and whereas in 1992, the United States Supreme Court held in Quill versus North Dakota that mail-order catalog vendors were not subject to use taxes on sales made to residents of another state absent a, quote, physical presence, unquote, in the state wherein the transaction occurred. And whereas, with the rapid proliferation of internet commerce, the Quill physical presence requirement has negatively impacted state and local government revenue collection and given internet-based sellers an unfair advantage over traditional brick-and-mortar retailers. And whereas, last term, the Supreme Court denied, I'll be honest, I don't know how to pronounce that word,
It's okay.
certiorari, on a United States 10th Circuit Court of Appeals decision, Direct Marketing Association v. Broll, which upheld a Colorado statute requiring out-of-state internet and other direct marketers to report individual annual sales to the Colorado Department of Revenue to facilitate collection of use taxes due from residents on such transactions. And whereas SB 337 establishes Colorado-style annual sales reporting requirements for out-of-state internet and direct marketers, and whereas passage of SB 337 will provide the state of Oklahoma and municipalities a useful tool for the collection of use taxes due on purchases made from out-of-state internet and direct marketers, and finally, whereas improved collection of use taxes on out-of-state and direct marketing sales will help offset state and local revenue losses occasioned by the demise of local retail activity. Now therefore be it resolved that the Stillwater City Council hereby endorses the immediate passage of SB 337 by the Oklahoma legislature. And if you have any questions, I suppose now is the time to open for questions.
I want to know which school you are in at, or which department or school at OSU.
I am a philosophy and history double major.
Awesome, good fit. All right, counselors, questions? Is there a motion?
I would like to add that it was his idea for the resolution.
That's great.
And all of those cities that he contacted resulted in the Senate passing that bill 3428, which is quite an accomplishment in this legislature.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Sincerely, thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Do we have a motion?
Motion to adopt the resolution.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution. Please vote. And with a vote of 5-0, Alex, the resolution is approved. Takes us to ordinances. Mr. Dorman on first reading.
I was going to have Alex read this. No, not going to take me up on that one. All right. Ordinance number 3396, an ordinance related to land development in the city of Stillwater, amending Stillwater City Code Chapter 23 titled Land Development Code, Article 25 titled Corridor Redevelopment Area Planning District, adding a new section 23442.1 titled Public Realm Improvement Requirement Triggers, providing for the identification of properties that are required to make public realm improvements, adding a new section to 23442.2 titled Exemptions in the Public Realm Improvement Requirement, providing for the identification of properties and criteria that shall be exempt from making public realm improvements, and providing for severability. And these are the amendments that you approved several weeks ago with respect to the form-based code area.
Counselors, any questions, or is there a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Second?
Motion and a second to
Move to second reading.
advance the ordinance to second reading. Please vote. And with a vote of 5-0, the motion is the ordinance is advanced to second reading. That brings us to item B. Mr. Dorman.
This would be ordinance number 3400, an ordinance closing a public utility easement located east and perpendicular to North Lincoln Street, north and parallel to West McElroy Road, and south of Tyler Avenue on properties addressed as 813 North Lincoln Street and 1124 West McElroy Road, as more particularly described in Section 1, and declaring an emergency. I was just looking at that last part. I don't think we need the emergency, so just
After section 1, scratch
after
it
Section
out?
1, we're done. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Counselors, is there a question or a motion?
Motion to advance as amended.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to advance ordinance number 3400 as amended. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, ordinance number 3400 is advanced to second reading. That brings us to reports from officers and board. City Attorney.
A couple of items, ma'am. Request an executive session pursuant to 25 OS subsection 307B2 to discuss labor negotiations with Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 102 and International Association of Firefighters local number 2095.
City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. After implementing a vehicle monitoring driving coaching system that tracks driver behavior, I'm pleased to announce the City of Stillwater Operations Department has achieved a 100% coaching effectiveness score. Effective coaching means that each driver, after one coaching session, did not repeat the same behavior within 60 days. Obviously, the City of Stillwater is focusing on giving our drivers the tool they need to become safer drivers.
Is that for teenagers too?
We can show you how to do it.
All right. Who else has news? Counselor Zanotti.
I do. The City of Stillwater is pleased to welcome the following individuals to our team this month. We have Cammie Kuntz, who's a finance operations manager. Joe Spychalski, who's an maintenance worker. Gina Kostin, an airport maintenance worker. And Ginger Gripe, the finance reporting and compliance manager. So welcome to the City of Stillwater.
Welcome. Vice Mayor.
City of Stillwater is hosting a 12th Avenue public input meeting on April 9th. That would be Monday, April the 9th, in the Stillwater Community Center, room 121, from 5:30 to 7:30. The Development Services asks for your attendance to discuss the neighborhood conservation overlay, neighborhood mixed-use overlay, and area for possible application of overlay districts. This has been a hot topic. Please do come to that meeting on the April the 9th, Monday, at the Community Center, so that your voice is on record.
Very good advice. And we've been talking about this for a long time, so hopefully it's, well, I
Good
won't
meeting.
say standing room only, but
Good
let's,
meeting.
we need a good meeting with good attendance. Counselor Joyce.
I have the sales tax update for the month. In March, the City of Stillwater's sales tax apportionment decreased by 3.88% compared to this time last year, and year-to-date is up by 1.05%. These sales tax collections are from January 2018 transactions that were reported to the Oklahoma Tax Commission in February 2018. Use tax in March of 2018 was up 86.8% from March of 2017. I think it's probably important to note that the amount of use tax is much smaller than the amount of sales tax, so an 86% increase. The robust collection there does help offset the shortfall in sales tax. For more budget information, you can go to stillwater.org/budget.
Thank you, Counselor Joyce. Counselor Wedlake.
Thank you, Mayor. We want to give a big thank you to our waste management customers for making a great improvement in a short amount of time. Our recent recycling audit results are in, and they show that Stillwater recyclers have improved or reduced the amount of unrecyclable items in carts by a whopping 24%. So the audit found only 21% of items collected in recycle carts were considered unrecyclable, and shows that Stillwater is currently trending near the national average of 20%. What makes this number especially significant is when it's compared to our first audit report almost a year ago in March 2017. That report revealed that 45% of the material found in recycled carts was unacceptable. So, pretty significant.
Good work.
Good news, yeah.
Nice work.
Nice work, and you can tell everybody is trying to do their part. Very important.
Really quickly, too.
All right, is there a motion to move into executive session?
Motion to move to executive
Do-
session.
Oh,
do the-
I'm so sorry. So sorry. Appointments. Stillwater Housing Authority. I knew you guys were looking at me weird. Stillwater Housing Authority Board. All right, we have Sue Bonner. Her term expires, and, oh, it already did expire in February of 2018. And she has expressed her desire to continue to serve on the Public Housing Authority Board. So I nominate to reinstall Sue as a member of the Public Housing Authority. Is there a motion?
That would be your motion. I will second your
Yes.
motion.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second to have Sue Bonner on the Public Housing Authority. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, Sue is staying on the Public Housing Authority Board. Thank you, Sue. Now, is there a motion to move into executive session?
Before we go into executive session, I just want to tell Mayor Noble that we are proud of serving with you over the last few years as you have been our mayor, and as this is your last formal meeting.
Yes.
I just want to tell you, and I think on behalf of the council too, that we are proud of what you've done. We congratulate you and wish you the best in this next chapter of your life, and thank you.
Here, here.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been my pleasure and my honor. And with that, I need a Kleenex, and we are moving to executive session. Have we voted? No, we have not.
Motion to move to executive session.
Second.
Second.
Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, we are now moving into executive session. And thank you very much for the well wishes.